Hey, what's going on, Poké fans? Welcome back to Pet at the Peak. In today's video, we'll be looking at Zapdos Flaaffy Deck. It's been a while since I recorded a video like a year ago, and then I again started to record some videos. And if you followed my channel for the couple past years, I lost a lot of subscribers, but it really doesn't matter too much. If you followed my channel, you're probably gonna know that I played a lot decks based on the rogue strategy, and I actually enjoyed playing the rogue decks. I like to play draft and a rogue decks as much as I can. And usually when I build deck for the TCGO, I try to build something new and innovating. In today's video, I decided to play the Zapdos because one of my friends actually tried to play this deck. Not this specific version, but the version of this deck that was much worse in my opinion. And then I take the look at it and I told myself that it can definitely be improved. I mean, many deck lists that I sometimes see, or that sometimes somebody ask me to give my opinion, I usually see it on the other way, and then I just tweak it a little bit different. So the most important part when you're building the deck is the consistency, in my opinion. Consistency should be number one, the damage output should be number two, and if you're playing a control type of the decks, you should then just try to mix between balance and consistency. Balance between you can control your opponent and still be able to draw the specific card at the specific moment that you need. So in my opinion, playing like 4 copies of Quick Ball, 4 copies of Level Ball, and 4 copies of Stormy Mountains for this type of the deck is must have. And you're probably gonna ask yourself, why so many Stadium and Quick Ball and Level Ball cards? Well, that's simply because you really want to have turn 2 3 Flaaffys in play and potentially 4 Lightning Energies or 3 Lightning Energies in your disco pile, or at least 2 and 1, so you can attach to your Pokemon and then be able to hit with either way Zapdos, maybe Cramorant, Vikavolt, or a Regieleki. So with the Stormy Mountains, we can search the deck for a basic lighting Pokemon, which means that we can set up the Mareep on the bench, we can set up Regieleki on the bench, we can set the Zapdos on the bench, and with the Level Ball, we can grab the Mareep Flaaffy lineup. We can also search the deck for that new Mew with the Mysterious Tail ability, which allows us to look at the top 6 cards of our deck and reveal the item card we find there and put it in our hand. Then we have 4 copies of Quick Ball that can help us to get Cramorant, Crobat, Mareep, Regieleki, Vikavolt, the Zapdos, and the Mew. Additionally, we also have 4 copies of Capture Energy. When we attach Capture Energy from our hand to one of the Pokemons, we can basically put the basic Pokemon on our bench. I think that personally, probably we are not gonna need 4 energies, but I decided just to go with as much consistency as I can. Probably maybe playing 10 Lightning and 2 Capture would be a sweet spot, just because we have 4 Level Ball, 4 Quick Ball, and 4 Stormy Mountains, so I think it's a little bit overkill. But for this specific video, we're gonna go with 4 of each. So that's basically 16 cards that can help us to set up and build up that 5 Pokemon bench turn 1, boom, just like that. I mean, with 16 search cards, I think there should not be a problem to have turn 2 Flaaffys in play. Additionally, some other setup cards that we have are Research, Marnie, and Zinnia's Resolve. But let's go to the Pokemon lineup and let's talk a little bit about it. So the most important part of this deck is a Zapdos Thunder Snipe attack. For 2 Lightning Energies and 1 Colress Energy, you can hit for 160 damage one of your opponent Pokemon V on the bench, but in order to do that, you need to discard all 3 energies from the Zapdos. Additionally, we have also Regieleki that can use the Terra Spark and hit for 120, but in order to hit for 120, we need to discard all lightning energies from this Pokemon. And this attack also does 40 to 2 of your opponent benched Pokemons. So theoretically speaking, Zapdos can hit for 190 if it have Telescopic Sight attached, as well as the Regieleki can go for 120 and then 70 to 2 of our opponent Pokemon Wii's on the bench. So yeah, that's a lot of damage. I mean, theoretically speaking, we can swipe our opponent easily. Probably I'm going to play this deck for the tournament this weekend on TCGO series. I might even start streaming soon. I'm not quite sure. If you're new to the channel, you should definitely consider subscribing and following for the more informations about that. So the strategy is pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty simple. Try to set up Flaaffy so you can use Dynamotor, try to get as many lightning energies in your discard pile with the Professor Research or Zinnia or a Quick Ball, and simply start hitting for 160 with the Thunder Snipe. I also decided to take a little bit more of some other cards like Vikavolt V. So with the Paralyzing Bolt we can hit for 50 and paralyze our opponents so they cannot play item cards from the hand, and then we can Super Zap Cannon for 190 so we can at least have some decent matchups against some decks that might just try to avoid playing Pokemon V cards, for example. So we can definitely benefit from the Vikavolt. But I think personally the Vikavolt is a pretty broken card. Imagine you're starting first. You have turn 1 Vikavolt Capture Energy, turn 2 you're maybe potentially ready to go with the Paralyzing Bolt. So in my opinion, that's very good. I mean, with this build, I'm like 99% positive that you're gonna have turn 2 if you're starting first Paralyzing Bolt almost always. Almost always. Expect if you're so lucky to start with the Regieleki with 2 retreat cost and no Air Balloon to retreat. So that's just my opinion, because all other Pokemons have 1 retreat cost. And we also have Cramorant that can spit shot for 161 of our opponent benched Pokemons as well. There is 1 Crobat for the Darkest set. And that's pretty much it for the Pokemon lineup. 18 Pokemon, 30 trainer cards, 12 energies. I think it's pretty balanced overall in terms of the Pokemon trainer and energies. You should have like in some cases 12 to 20 Pokemons, 30 to 35 energy trainer cards, and then like 8 to 12 or 14 energies. So in my opinion, this deck is well balanced. So yeah, this deck also plays 1 Escape Probe. It also plays for 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, so we can recycle either way basic Pokemon or basic energies. 1 copy of Tool Scrapper, and I also mentioned that Air Balloon for 2 less retreat cost, and then 4/4/2 line of Marnie, Research, and Zinnia's Result. The only card that I'm thinking about maybe tagging in this deck is definitely 1 copy of Boss's Orders. In my opinion, 1 Boss Order might be very good, but then again, if we discarded Boss Order, then we might just not be able to get that Boss Order, and the reason for the Boss Order is the fact that we can then sometimes take maybe 6 prize cards in just a single turn, and that's the reason why. But overall, I think that the deck is pretty balanced. The only thing that I might consider removing in the future would be 2 capture energies for 2 extra lighting energies, but for now I'm just gonna keep it as it is. If you already didn't, you can also check the ccgcastle.com. Link will be provided in the video description, just in case if you're looking forward to buy maybe some Pokemon products, Pokemon single cards, or maybe other trading card games, singles and seal stuff. Link is provided in my video description. And also you can sell the cards to CCG Castle, so I also advise that if you're looking for maybe to sell your collection, if you have spare bulk laying around, you should also consider checking them as well. All right, let's move to the game test. Enough talking, let's see how this deck works in action, so see you in the game. So what we can expect from Zapdos? Don't expect nothing too crazy, but again, it's a very good rogue deck that can basically surprise a lot of players that are not familiar with the strategy and deck. So you might just catch your opponent on the wrong foot, and you might just take the advantage and easily win the game, especially because Vikavolt can be very useful, because with the Vikavolt we can take that advantage and item lock our opponent so they cannot play item cards. And as you can see, there's the Vikavolt also on the other side of the field, so my opponent is also playing Vikavolt in his deck, but he is playing that Pikachu V Union. So I really need to admit that this is going to be a very interesting matchup between my Zapdos and my opponent Pikachu V Union deck. So he already have 2 Mareeps, and I'm gonna also have a bunch of Mareeps in play, no question about that. So there is 1 Mareep, and I'm also gonna go for the 3rd one. So I really want to put as many Mareeps as I can on the bench. Additionally, we can go with something like Quick Ball. Yeah, I think probably I'm just going to throw the research anyways. Since he is going to play Wii Pokemons, I'm gonna definitely take advantage of my Zapdos in this matchup. So this is a research for 7. Unfortunately, in this matchup, in this specific matchup, my Stormy Mountains is just useless card. So it is how it is, unfortunately. It is a useful card because my opponent already played his Stormy Mountains, and once the Stormy Mountains is in play, it's pretty much over. So there is Professor Bird. So he already have 3 pieces of Pikachu V Union in his deck, and there might be a 4th one coming soon. And there is a Quick Ball. Alright, there we go. Unfortunately, with a Quick Ball, you are not allowed to search the deck for a Pikachu V Union. So there is a Tapu Koko and another Mareep and Spike Throw. Okay, so he hits for 40. So what I really need to do, I need to use my Zinnia's Resolve, and I'm going to discard Stadium plus Energy, and I will draw plenty of cards. But from so many cards, unfortunately, I didn't get too much. No, I didn't get too much, unfortunately. But it is how it is. Next turn, probably he's going to knock my active Zapdos anyways. So I'm going to prepare the other Zapdos and drill pick his Tapu Koko. So yeah, that's the downside of the TCGO. Sometimes you're getting good cards, sometimes you're just driving the cards that you really don't need. But hey, at least we are still in this game. I mean, he can knock me out definitely for 200, but then next turn he is not able to play that Tapu Koko Thunderous Bolt attack, which is good. But he have 2 Vikavolt V simply on the bench. So who knows, we might even see a Vikavolt play from the other side of the field. So for that Paralyzing Bolt, I wouldn't be surprised to see that as well. But I really want to hit for 190 and then try to take a knockout with, let's say, Regieleki, for example, on one of his Flaaffys, and also maybe 40 damage on that damaged Vikavolt on the bench, and then all I would really need would simply be the another Zapdos Tender Snipe on the active Tapu Koko. So there we go, that's the knockout. That's the knockout, and I will put my Mareep to the active position. since I really don't want to take too much risk, missing the opportunity to get one of the puzzles that I might need, I will just throw the research for 7 and also energy to Mareep so I can have that retreat. And luckily I did that. And also I'm gonna get rid of all of my trainer cards before he just paralyzed bolted me. And additionally we will also probably discard that Mew. I have one more Flaaffy to use. Okay, so am I sniping the Vikavolt for 190? I think I'm doing that, definitely. Yeah, I'm doing that. And I'm setting up another Zapdos for the following turn. So, Thunder Snipe. On the Vikavolt on the bench. There we go. So the strategy is to hit this Vikavolt and then to probably power up another Zapdos to snipe another Vikavolt. Or maybe just simply to... Okay, yeah, somehow I need to put... Yeah, I waste my escape rope, so not gonna happen, unfortunately. Okay, what's very good here, I can just drill pick for 20 and knock the Vikavolt out, which is a good thing, because I can then waste just 1 energy card. Still, my opponent needs to take 5 prize cards, and he actually needs to knock 5 of my Pokemon. Okay, so he actually did me a favor there, Okay, there we go. So I can drill pick for the knockout, which is good. I think I have plenty of energies in my discard pile. Yes, I do. So I can basically knock him out for 20. Or I can just knock the other Tapu Koko on the bench. Only 1 Air Balloon. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna swing with the research for 7. Probably I'm gonna get energy anyways, and there's also Air Balloon, so it's okay. So 2 Dynamotors. So yeah, I can't unfortunately take 6 prize cards in just a single turn, unfortunately, because I don't have Boss's Orders, but theoretically if I had Boss's Orders, I would hit for 160 right now this Vikavolt. And then next turn, I would just try to get the boss for the Tapu Koko and simply... still I would be short, okay. Still I would be short. If I would really wanted to do that. Level Ball for Flaaffy. Energy, another Flaaffy. Another Dynamotor, there we go. Thunder Snipe, say goodbye to Tapu Koko. We are both equal with the prize cards, and there is my Vikavolt V, and also Zapdos. Alright, perfect. And the good thing is that if he knocks this Zapdos out right now with the Paralyzed Bolt, he will lose eventually 2 energies. Oh, there's a Marnie. Okay, so I'm not gonna lose my Regieleki, which is a big deal, which is a very important thing, because then next turn I can simply try to potentially knock the active Vikavolt and maybe even spread the damage to the bench at 1. The worst thing that he can actually do would be to retreat the active Vikavolt to the fresh Vikavolt on the bench. Because then I would damage the active for 120 and also knock the bench at 1. But I think it still really doesn't matter anyways, because I already have 3 Flaaffys in play, so I also have that Cramorant that can support me with extra 160 damage anyways. So I think it's fair to say that the game is going into my favor, at least from what I can see. So yeah, he decided to retreat. Zapdos is such a useless card at this moment for my opponent. And it's definitely time for me to promote my Regieleki in the front. Oof, I only have 3 energies in my discard pile. I'm going to discard definitely Cramorant. Take the Vikavolt so I can put it on the bottom of my deck so I can draw the energy from that Marnie. There we go. There's a plenty of energies. Energy attachment, and all I really need to do is simply power up my Zapdos. And then it is fair to say that next turn game is over. So Terrace Park, and I'm hitting for 40, and I'm also hitting one of his. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much. What really does matter is that I have Zapdos available on the bench next turn for the knock against that Vikavolt, and that should be a game. So I have to retreat cost, but I can definitely retreat. So even if my opponent runs on the bench, I can pay the retreat cost, and Zapdos is ready to knock the Vikavolt out for the last 2 prize cards. So yeah, as you can see, the game, the deck looks pretty interesting, and it works flawless. And then again, Zapdos is not an expensive card at all. You can get it cheaply. It's a very cheap card. I would say it's probably like 50 cents or something like that. So if you're looking forward maybe to build this deck, it's not going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you really low amount of the money. But this deck is basically built to counter the GX and V and VMAX decks. If you're going to play versus non-V deck, you're gonna have some hard time beating them. But again, if you're playing against V or VMAX deck, you will not have too many problems. So that's the GG. And the last 2 prize cards were Flaaffy and Quick Ball. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos. Hit the thumbs up and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any future video. Once again, there's a deck list that I use in today's video. I mean, no doubt about it, it's a very good deck. It works flawless. And the only 2 cards that I actually forget to put so the deck can be Max Pimp are Mews. I completely forget that there's also a secret version of the Mew. So yeah, somehow I managed to forget to change that. Anyways, thank you for your time. We'll see you soon tomorrow with the next video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. So till then, have a nice day and goodbye.